Born ready.
Born
I'm ready. I just ate some ribs.
ribs. I had ribs. That's why I'm doing this. You remember that thing from Anchorman?
Mm-mm.
You remember that he's picking his teeth? Looking at him weird. He's like, ribs. I had ribs. That's why I'm doing this.
Oh, yeah.
What's up? What you got there? I can't even see.
Regis Black Label.
Oh, there it is.
Haven't had one in a minute. It was time.
I was gonna smoke the CAO Brazilian Maduro, but the little nubby one.
Yeah.
But I had a new. I don't want to call him a new. What's up, Jean? I had a new customer who is like super cool. He's just like a really nice guy. Like he came in to pick up some paperwork, and he brought me this. And I guess, I mean, I never talked about cigars with him. I never talked about snakes with him. I never talked about anything. But he comes in and he goes, you're a sick weirdo with all them snakes. But here, you can have this. And he gives me this. And I have no idea what this is.
What does it say under the H on the black?
So it
label?
says Habaneros, Habano, and that's it. So I put it in cigar scanner this afternoon when I got to my parents' house, and they don't know what it is. Cigar scanner didn't know what it was. So I sent it to their team of professionals so that they can identify said stick. So, I mean, it smells kind of wispy, but it feels really good. It's got the oils that I like. It's got a little give to it. I like it. It looks good. So we're gonna smoke that. Watch it be something amazing and like it's the last of its kind.
Yeah, it's like they don't even make them anymore.
Mm-hmm. But if it is, we'll have done it on Snakes and Stogies.
That's right.
That's right. So
What's new? What's happening?
What's up, Brandon?
What's up, Brandon?
I do not have ice cream, unlike some other individuals that actually
do.
Really, really good right now. I spent the day recreationally shooting.
Sounds horrible.
It was very hot, but it was good. It was worth it. I got a little sun on my face, in case people can't tell. And but it was good because, like, I teach a lot. And let me rephrase it. I don't teach a lot, but I do teach often enough that the time that I would be recreationally shooting, I'm teaching. So
right.
Like
when I really enjoy it.
Yeah, when I teach, I only, maybe shoot 2 or 3 times and that's it, just to like show how a drill works or, something. And every once in a while I get to, do this, do that. But today was literally just like a fun day. And we had a couple kids of coworkers with us, and they're good kids, and like that's always fun,
Mm-hmm.
And when I get to the range, they have these they have like these giant Legos. They're big plastic, like they have caps on them and they're hollow, so I guess you could fill them with water, but I'm pretty sure they're used for some kind of construction where they basically use them for like to set up foundations and stuff. But for lack of a better word, they are giant hollow plastic Legos. And they're all over the one range that I rent. And I always flip them because I want to find some snakes.
Right.
And I've yet to find a snake. I found a couple of jumping spiders, some regalis, which were pretty cool. Regius, or whatever the hell they're called. And but yeah, dude, I checked every single one today. Everyone's like, Phil, what are you doing? I'm like, just let me do it, please. They probably think I'm some weirdo.
Indulge me.
Just indulge me, right? And then one time I found this really good looking jumper, big fat female, and I left my car running all day because I didn't want her to cook in the car. And everyone was like, why is your car still running? I'm like, it's fine, just leave it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't ask questions.
Right? But it was good. Got some videos for the gram, I hit up, well, you know what? How was your day? What'd you do today? Because I have stuff to talk about and I don't want to segue right into it. So how was your day?
It was all right. Woke up, took the dog on a walk, smoked Aroma Craft in Temperance, Connecticut. Came home, We went grocery shopping. Then we went to my parents' house. I took a bunch of pictures of some snakes my dad has for sale.
I saw those little turn out. They look good.
Yeah, and then we came back home, made dinner, and I fed everybody, all the bigger stuff, and everyone's fat and happy. All the smaller chondros got a little bit of a boost as far as a meal goes. They got something a little larger than what I'd normally give them. So
Cool.
thanks to the cuts I make, I don't have to worry about it being too much.
That's good.
The science of the cuts.
Cuts. It's a homonym.
It works. Damn it.
So I'm told by the best. So I'm told.
Did you see my Instagram story of that Eastern female?
No, man, I wasn't on the gram at all today. But tell me about it, please.
So I opened that tub with this female Eastern in it, and she's pretty big for an Eastern. She's pretty big.
Great you, right?
Yeah, and my dad was like, "Oh, you'll want a glove for her," and I was like, "Figures." And so I put the glove on, and then I reached down, and she just grabbed it, wrapped it, and then wouldn't let go of the glove. Like I slid the glove off my hand after a few minutes of her just sitting there, and we put her in a tub, and she was still wrapped around it, like she was like trying to eat. And it's like this is why outside of Alterna and the Thayeri or Leonis, whatever you want to call it, like that's why I don't mess around with Brooks or Easterns or Cow Kings, because they're so such freaks when it's food time, anytime really, that
yeah,
you can't trust them.
Yeah.
Hey, Graham's here, Andy's here. Matt is saying hello, goodbye.
What's up, Mate? Goodbye, Mate. Andy, we love you. We love you too, Matt.
I was telling someone the other day how good of a guy Andy was. I think it was on Joe's podcast the other night with Dom. They were talking about Andy. I was like, man, Andy's the best.
He's the
Andy's
best.
the guy.
He really is a stand-up fella. Or as they used to say back in the neighborhood, he's a good fella. He's a good fella.
Graham, it must be stupid late over there.
Yeah, what are you doing up, boy?
Better question is, why is my computer not charging? That's not good. Technical difficulty.
Technical difficulty. I love the sounds that come out of Justin's garage, because like sometimes it's a garage door, sometimes it's a jet fighter plane, sometimes it's weird pings and sounds, and I feel like the guy from Police Academy is in the room with you.
Sadly, I don't understand the reference because I've never seen the Police Academy movies. God, it's like impossible to get comfortable right now.
Dude, they're on streaming somewhere. They have to be. You need to watch at least the first one. The first one's the only real like good one. The other ones are kind of cool. They're fun, whatever. They're spin-offs, you know. Well,
He said he's coming off graveyard shifts. We gotta get Nipper on here, man. Like that's gotta happen.
No, we gotta get Nipper. You know what we gotta do is we gotta do a Sunday. We gotta do a Sunday that he has off, because you and I are both off Sundays, and we'll do it. You know, like you do with your other international people. We'll just do it.
Yeah, we do it at like noon, 11 something.
Yeah. Yeah, video with Nipper. That'll be fucking great. Oh my god, I need to like start writing down one-liners now, just so I can fire back at him. But I'll tell you, this Habano is legit Habano. It's very good. It's soft and spicy. I'm enjoying it. I really hope it's not like really expensive and rare.
I had somebody message me asking if I had any white-lip pythons, Timor pythons, or blue tree monitors.
Interesting.
It's like you must really be swinging for the fences, because
you must have just gotten on social media. Like
I've never had them at all.
Yeah.
Timors would be cool. I've looked at Timors.
I had so an Instagram friend reached out to me wondering if I had any Nah, I can't remember what the hell they're called. um, the pygmies that you and I don't have. I'm legit blank.
The Reds?
No. The
Barbarai?
No. The other pygmies. Anyway, he reached out to me. He was like, "Hey man, I'm looking for some pigs." I said, "Nah, the only thing that I got." What's up, Mike? The only thing that I got right now is I got Stogies that I might part with. I haven't really decided yet because they're small. It's gonna be a while before they breed. I want to give them at least another 2-3 years, but I don't want to. I don't know. I offered it to him, and he's like, "No, I don't want any Duskies." And I said, "Hey, I've been looking for Palestinian vipers, and which, by the way, I hate calling them that, but I have to because of their scientific name." As I'm looking for these vipers, he goes, "No, I don't have any, but ask so and so who I'm acquaintances with in Florida."
What?
So I hit the guy up, and he's like, yeah." He's like, "I got to check, but the guy has so many snakes, bro. Like so many snakes. He has guys that work for him, and he's like, "Yeah, I think I do have one." And I'm like, "I'll take it." So he's traveling now, but he gets back in town Wednesday, so I might be getting one Wednesday.
What's the what's the appeal of those compared to other Deboya?
Well, I really wasn't a big fan of the Mortanicus just because they're a little smaller and they're very expensive because they are rare.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone has, let me rephrase that, not everyone has, but the people that keep Deboya, they keep usually Pakistanis because of the color, and then also Siamenses. So I've worked with Pakistanis, I've worked with Indians, and I've owned Siamensis.
Siamensis are like the Thai variety?
Yeah, it would be like Indonesian.
Yeah.
And I've never had the Israelis, and I want it. I want it bad. I've wanted it for a long time. And I basically decided that now that I have my tree vipers that I want to kind of focus on them and really put some TLC into them, because this is my first time like actually caring about arboreals. Like I have squams and stuff, but like they don't even live in their tree, so I don't like consider them arboreal, even though I should. So like this is my first time really working, like really caring about the arboreal concept. And I was like, all right, let me focus on something else new. And a friend of mine got banded or barred wrinkles, and I was like, man, those ones that Cody has are really good. And then I got another friend that has some that came out of South Africa that are really good. They're like F3. And I was like, you know what though? I got enough cobras. I'm done with stuff pooping all the time, every day, pooping on the ceiling. Like
and I mean, wrinkles don't seem to be terribly hard to find, anyways.
They're not.
It's not like you couldn't come across.
That's true. But the Israelis, they've always interested me. I really want them, and I was like, you know what? I got a little bit of money right now. I got the cage space right now because I just rearranged everything with Henry. Henry came over on a Wednesday, and we redid the whole room, and which I plan on talking about tonight. And I'm like, man, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the 3-foot display vision, because I have 3 of them. I have the Tannenbaum one. I have the bottom one's empty. It's just I'm using it as a riser, and then the Tannenbaum is in the middle, and then I have a bigger Florida cottonmouth on top. So I have a CB70 rack that's all native stuff to Florida. And I have one drawer empty that's like my emergency drawer. Like, oh, I need to put something in there. I'll just throw it in there. And I'm like, you know what I'm going to do is I want to get a pair of Israelis, and I'll put one in each 3-foot show vision, do them up, right? And then Nipper was saying, like, I really should have like a 4.5 or a 5-foot. And then eventually, maybe years down the line, by the time they're big enough to really, need the space, and I'm going to put them together, I'll get like a really nice big display thing for the room. But I've been looking at these vinyl decals that are UV resistant, and they're adhesive on the back of them, but they're meant to go inside the vision cage. Follow?
What's the point?
So like, all right, you remember, the fish tank backers they have?
Yeah.
Or like they have like, the desert scape that you'd use for your bearded dragon on your long, you just tape it on the back. Well, it's that, but whatever picture you want, You can send them your own picture. You can download one.
Oh.
You give them the picture. They make the vinyl adhesive in HD. You adhere it to the back of the vision cage, right? So it's inside the cage because vision's not see-through, you know?
Yeah, I'm tracking now.
And it's UV resistant. So when I do put UVB on it, it's not going to fade with time. And God forbid the snake poops on it, it's vinyl. I can just wash it off.
Right.
So
That makes sense.
yeah. So originally,
Ooh, Mr. Popularity.
yeah, it's a group chat from work. They're all getting home and going through their pictures and whatever. But originally, I was going to do it. I took a really cool picture of a pine hammock in Dade County, and I was going to use that for the backdrop on my juvenile Eastern Diamondbacks. And I was like, you know what? Let me send them this and blah blah. Well, it slipped through the cracks. I forgot about it, and then both snakes wound up dying. So I don't have any Eastern Diamondbacks right now. But I never followed through with it, and I'm like, you know what? This would be good. So I don't want to give away too many secrets as to how I'm going to make this look good. But if I can get those Daboya, I'm going to just do it up. I'm going to try my best to make it as bioactive as I can. Put some mealworm beetles in there.
Did you listen to the THP episode we did Thursday?
I'm about 35, 40 minutes in. Because
say that you enjoy that one.
Oh, I am. So far, I am. So far, I'm very enjoying it. The problem is, I had an hour and a half one way and an hour and a half the way today, but I had two other guys in the car. So, like, I'm not going to force them to listen to Snake podcast. You know what I mean?
Oh, come on.
I can't.
Say it's my ride. Sorry.
No. I can't do that. And it's weird, and then we don't talk to each other. No, I'd rather just have the camaraderie, you know? But
that was a really good episode, man. Like when I messaged Nate,
never happened sooner.
Huh? Yeah. Well, he's been on the list for a long time. Pia messaged me a couple weeks ago and was like, "You guys need to have Nathaniel on." I was like, "Yeah, he's been on my list. I just haven't gotten around to actually making it happen." And she's like, "Oh, I'll talk to him." And then she messaged me and said he's down. And so then I messaged him and said, "Hey, Pia mentioned that you were good with coming on the show sometime soon." And he was like, "Yeah, he listens to the show," which was kind of surprising.
Why?
Because then you never know like who actually sort of pays attention and who doesn't. And
it's true.
to have someone sort of, in my opinion, he's a pretty high caliber individual.
And it's amazing
so when you have
Cody.
Huh?
It's amazing how much he sounds like Cody. Like the way he talks.
Yeah, everyone says that. I didn't really get it, but
oh yeah, like his vocal mannerisms are his vocal.
Yeah, that I can see. But
very much like Cody.
It was. I don't know. I was kind of expected surprised when he was like, "Yeah, I'm a fan, man." I was like, "Well, this makes life a little bit easier. Then you're not like some guy who's kind of out there in the ether in his own little bubble. It's like, oh, I've never heard of it. What's it all about? What's it like? And Hen Dog.
What's up, Hen Dog?
So it was cool. He's very easy to talk to. It was a good episode. He made it easy. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, so we got into a lot of stuff like self-immunization. We talked about Atheros a good bit, squams and why there's so many people buying them. And
yeah, I just got up to the part where you guys are finishing the stiletto stuff.
Yeah.
Where you just finished the stiletto stuff and you've segued. That's where I left off.
See, and like that's the kind of episodes that I like the most. Like when you have somebody on and it's that's one of the things about Joe Rogan's show I like so much is it's like structured, but it's not structured at the same time. Like there's no like tell everybody who you are and how you got into the hobby. Instead, it's like a conversation just goes out and then it just goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then eventually you like get back into, okay, well, why did you get into venom production? Why'd you get into this? I just love how it's like you're not really dropped into the middle of a conversation, but a conversation just sort of drops on its own.
Yeah,
and then eventually gets the structured part, the outline, It
segues itself.
Yeah.
But it's good, man. I'm loving it so far. Here's the thing, like maybe I'm biased because like no, you know what? I'm not biased because I was a fanboy of THP before I was friends with y'all, and my goal was to finish because I can only listen to it at certain times in my day. My goal was to finish that episode before the next one drops. And like, no offense to everybody else, no offense James, no offense to Eric and Owen, no offense to anybody else, but Joe, whoever. All of those podcasts get second bid. I have to finish THP first.
I listened to James and April's show probably the most out of anybody's. I do catch Phelan's live streams when he's doing them. But usually that's only for like an hour or so before I got to close it to work, and then I leave. And then if it's something I'm really involved in, I'll leave it on in my car as I'm driving. And
cool.
But I do listen to James's show, Reptile Gumbo, and that's because they put it on Google Play. And so I get a notification because that's usually the app I use for most of my podcasts. And I get the notification, so when it's there, I can listen to it. And what I've been doing, and it's actually been working out, is I listen to it as I walk Archie in the mornings. And so that I get they just did an episode with Joe, and I've been listening to it for the last like 3 days. Like every morning, I listen to like 30 minutes at a time, and it's like a 2-hour show. And so I'm like, eventually I'll get through it. But
yeah.
There's also supposed to be some sort of Popwood Roundtable episode of NPR that happened recently, and I can't find it. I don't think it's been posted yet, but I'm like super anxious to hear it because that was the one Jake was supposed to be on, but because of his anniversary and stuff like that, he was out of town. He couldn't join in, and I don't know. Riley was talking a lot of smack in our little group chat together, and I'm anxious to hear it now.
Yeah, Billy and I were talking about the 2 episodes of NPR where they it was like talking about.
See,
what
Lance said it's not going to be released for a while.
Okay, there you go.
Bummer.
What I was gonna say is though, there was those 2 NPR episodes that were absolutely great. I think it was Scott, and then who was the other guy? The next episode, the next week was, oh man, now I can't remember. And anyway, they were talking about really rare species to breed, not just rare species, but hard to breed rare species. And there was a couple points that Billy and I were talking back and forth about. And Billy's like, oh man, I haven't had a chance to listen to either one of them. And I was like, well, if you do, you have like the 20 minutes, like fast forward to this part or whatever. I couldn't find them, and I still can't find them. And I'm wondering if I use Apple Podcast, iPodcast, whatever the hell it is, the Apple
Podcast.
Apple Podcast. And dude, I have all of my podcasts in my little library, right? And I can cycle back, and I can go back as far as they are. But for some reason, those 2 NPR episodes are gone. And I'm wondering.
Yeah, see, that's the problem with, I can't really listen to podcasts outside of walking the dog because when I'm at work, I have people hanging out. So I can listen to shows while I'm there, but I have people coming in and hanging out. I got to stop it.
Right.
And then come back to it later, and then someone else comes in. And so it just gets to the point where I'm like, whatever. But then there's like the issue with NPR. I mean, that is on Apple Podcasts, which is awesome. But I can't get Apple Podcasts on my phone because I have an Android.
Right.
And then the next issue is if you want to listen to it, you can go listen to it on Blog Talk, which is cool and all. But the problem with that is if you're on like your internet browser and you're on Blog Talk, you can't fast forward on episodes. And so what will happen is my internet app will randomly just disappear and stop. Right. And then I can't go back to where I left off on the podcast. And when it's like a 3-hour show and you're an hour and a half in,
yeah, that sucks.
I'm not going back through and starting that. So it ends up being like I'll pull it up on my computer whenever, and then it never happens. So,
so like I'm looking at my library right now, and I'm looking at the dates of it. Excuse me, and the dates go from April 28th to May 19th. They just skip 2 weeks. And I'm wondering, I didn't know if anyone else noticed. I didn't know if Burke pulled them for whatever reason, or if they got corrupted on the data got corrupted or something. I don't know, but I thought that was interesting how they just disappeared. And like I checked it on my laptop too, and I couldn't find them. But my laptop and my phone are synced, so I don't know if it's just I'm not a tech guy at all. I'm like analog as hell.
Right.
I'm wondering if I'm doing something wrong, but I never followed up with Billy to see if he went and tried to find them. So
Yeah, I may hit up Riley and see if that episode, that Pop One Roundtable, is somewhere where I can get the early access.
that does suck that Jake couldn't be part of that, because I feel like
yeah, man, Jake needs to be on more podcasts.
well,
Like,
he
everything
on that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, overall though, like anytime we've done a podcast, or he's done a podcast outside of, he was just on Reptile Gumbo recently too, which was actually a really good episode.
Yep, I caught that one.
Like, it's always me and him. It's like us together as like THP,
not JLB.
Right. Like, he needs to do more on his own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, it is on Google.
What?
Lance just sent it to me. Morelia Python Radio.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Well, I use Google Play because I don't see. That's the most frustrating part. Is like you have Google Podcasts, then you have Google Play, which has podcasts on it, but like it doesn't. It's not showing up on Google Play.
Oh, you know what? Let me see if it's on Apple.
It's definitely on Apple because I have it on my computer. But
what's it called?
Morelia Python Radio?
No, I'm saying the Pop One Roundtable.
I don't. That one isn't released yet. But
oh, well, then which one are you talking about?
I'm just trying to find NPR on Google.
Oh, I was to say, because I didn't see Pop One Roundtable on there. Okay.
See, it doesn't make sense. Like, they have it as a separate app entirely.
Yeah. What's up, Dom?
In what realm does that make sense? Add your favorites. See, there it is. Look at that. Subscribed. New episode notification. Thank you, Lance. So does that mean we're on here?
Oh, I was going to ask you. Did you say that you were going to put the Snakes and Stogies up on?
Yes, I just haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay. Because I went looking for it like 2 years ago. I forgot.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the only thing that's stopping me right now is those episodes messing up our stats for THP.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Which, I mean, it's really not that important, but
no, but it is.
It will skew things.
Right, I wouldn't do it. I would keep it separate in that regard. Because of that, I would keep it separate.
Because I was like, why pay for another SoundCloud subscription when I could just put it on the THP stream? But
well, I mean, dude, it's fine because most people. I mean, I don't have the modern YouTube where if you close it, it still plays.
Right. I don't have that either.
Okay, I was saying, but dude, so many people do now. So like, if people really wanted to like listen to us in the car or whatever, I'm sure that you could just do YouTube on their phone and everything.
It is, yeah. I mean, it is one of those things where you don't have to be watching it to pick up pretty much anything we're talking about, unless we're screenshotting stuff or sharing.
I mean, we do that pretty often, but at the same time, it's YouTube, so you could pause it and you could open it and look at what you're looking at. Fucking technology.
So that makes my life easier. Thank you, Lance, once again. I always thought the Google Podcasts and the Google Play app were pretty much one and the same. People just were talking about the podcast section of that app. So,
so Hendog came over and we reorganized my room. In desperate need of reorganization. Oh, what's up, man? Henry was flabbergasted at the mess of my room. And he told me the day before, hey, man, straighten it up, tidy it up, let's make room because we're moving all the cages around and everything. And
do yourself a favor and make it easier on both of us.
Right. And he's helping me out, so I got to make it as easy as I can for him because he's doing me a favor. I did it, but I didn't take it all out to the dumpster because it was monsoon raining.
Yeah.
So Henry walks in and he's like,
what the hell, man?
But I'm glad that he came over because you need to have a separate set of eyes. You got to have a separate set of eyes because how I envisioned it we still did it that way, but Henry's other eyes allowed me to see what I could not see in terms of playing Tetris. You know what I mean? So
did he see Sean's rack?
He brought over the step drill bit so that I could drill the Cambro tubs, and I love him and owe him dearly for that.
What did he think of the rack?
He liked it. I mean, the main support beam in the middle is broken, so I pushed half of it in so it has a little extra support. I don't know if Sean's making me another one or not. If he doesn't, I don't care. It doesn't really need it.
He is.
Yeah, but it doesn't need it. But the UPS, when they retaped my package, they lost the power cord to the LED lights, so there's no lights, and they lost 3 of the locking mechanisms. So I did not set up all the Vipers because I only have 3 locks.
I feel so bad for him, man, and
I know
the constant struggle he has with the shipper. It's ridiculous.
And like I think about it from a logistical point of view, there really isn't anything that he can do differently in terms of packaging. Because he packaged the shit out of my rack.
Right. Well, I think the main issue for him was he'd have to get like custom sized boxes made or something. Like there's not a ready-made sized box that would work for him, which I feel like if you went on Uline, there has to be something very close to what you use. Yeah, and I feel like that would make life a lot easier though, because he's not.
Yes, but no, because even if he found a bigger box or a better box on Uline, I feel like at the end of the day, no matter what size his product is, it's only that thick. So to get a box that's the size of me, but only that thick, he has to order custom boxes. And I think that that's just not logical. My whole thing is I'm convinced, because he has vented to me on occasion about how many other people have had their packages opened or retaped or whatever.
Right.
That's a hub problem. That's his FedEx or the FedEx, or excuse me, that's his UPS office or the UPS office that it's being transferred through. Someone is opening up his shit. Because I'm sorry, if that thing fell off a truck enough to have ripped the tape and opened the box, more of my rack would have been destroyed. I'm convinced that someone saw
the whole thing's very bizarre.
Yeah, I'm just convinced that someone saw that what it was and cut it open to look inside and said, oh, look, this power cord, maybe the power cord fell out and they didn't know it was mine. They didn't put it back in. Or maybe they're like, oh, look, this power cord, I'm taking that, which is stupid.
Well, I mean, the better question would be is why is UPS or FedEx going through my shit?
Well, exactly. That was what I was getting at. That's exactly what I was getting at. So I'm almost tempted. I know he lives in a unique place, and like I'm spoiled because I have FedEx and UPS stuff all over the place. But I would do a different office. I would go to a different branch or whatever. Just try a different branch because somebody there is doing some shady shit.
Mm-hmm. Or just follow the package, like drive with it all the way to its destination and see what the deal is. Secretly, follow the truck, follow the plane, stow away in the cabin.
Yeah. I was going to show you this, if we could screen share this, if it works. Hold on.
God, I look like an idiot, dude. I went too hard on the beard trimmer, man.
Nah, you're all right.
No, I hate it. My head's already big enough as is. It just makes it look like a beach ball.
So here's the rack if you'd like to screen share. There it is. So
I was bragging to Brahms about it today.
Oh, were you? I actually hit him up, which is one of my next topics we're going to talk about. But because
we talked about that too.
Okay, cool. He's going Cambro heavy, and I love it. So let me see if I can zoom in on this guy. So for those of you who can't see, you guys like my Sharpie marker? It's super official. So this is the rack, and I didn't get a good shot of the back, which I should have, but this cut here is where the support beam is, and then the support beam broke like right around here. So I have like this top half in the rack, the bottom half is not. And then these are the locking mechanisms. And then when the key turns this lock, the pin that's holding the drawer in place spring loads up, and then you just take your finger and go boom, boom, and just push it down. And
yeah, I love it, man.
Yeah, it's
I
brilliant.
was telling Brahms, I think this is legitimately the only that I know of, the only rack made specifically like for venomous.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's ever made anything like this.
Right.
I mean, I could be wrong. You could know somebody that has, but to me, this is like
No, I don't.
cutting edge. Like this has not been done before, and it's
Now, I've seen
it's way less complicated than I thought it would be as far as the lock.
Oh yeah, and kudos to Sean for being the brilliant mind that he is, because I've seen one time what are the racks that have the big window in the front? They're the really big giant like Python racks, the Python drawers.
Some sort of freedom breeder or something, I'm sure.
Okay, yeah, it was one of those, but it was jerry rigged and it had a hook that came down, and the hook snapped down and prevented the drawer from being pulled open. But there wasn't any kind of key lock or anything. It was just a hook. But I don't. Let me see. So if you look at here, let me try and zoom in, so you can see in this shot here, these are the LED lights along the back. Which I got to be honest, I misunderstood. I thought he was putting them in the roof here on either side, but that would be a wiring nightmare. So I understand why he did it like this. My only concern is I want to know how bright this is.
Oh, they're bright, dude.
Coming at you, you know?
Yeah.
But here's the locking pin, and it's super hard to see on this one. But when I first put the drawer in there without the locks, because I had to assemble the lock, the drawer had a pretty bad gap. And I was like, dude, this is not what Sean showed me. Like, why is there such a big gap? Like, so something could easily slip through this. And then I realized that the center beam held it even tighter. And when I screwed
it lifted up from the bottom.
What's that?
Like it lifted up from the bottom?
Yeah, it pulled the two shelves together.
Gotcha.
And what it was is it was just this front piece flexing a little bit because it's PVC. But this lock, because of the pressure that this lock is pushing on this tub, it closes the gap. So there is literally no gap. It's perfect. Absolutely.
What are those locks used for outside of that?
I have no idea.
Like, that's a weird lock. Like, I can't think of anything that's except for something similar to this, where you're like locking a drawer or something.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it might be like filing cabinet type of thing, maybe, but you wouldn't use it for that because you have to physically push with your finger.
Yeah, and those have like a lever that like clasps it to the
right. Exactly. That has a hook, you know.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know.
But I love it, man. That's like Sean. I can't say good enough things about him, man.
Of course.
He's doing things that no one else is probably willing. No one's probably willing to put in the time to figure out how to make a venomous rack.
Of course not.
They're going to be like, why would I make something new when I have all these other things that are selling fine?
Right.
You know, so that's just.
And here's the thing too is when I proposed the whole idea to Sean, I mean, because Sean talked about how he wanted to do some stuff. And then I was like, dude, I have this idea. I want to do blah, blah, blah. He told me, he's like, I need you to send me the exact number of the Cambro you want because I'm going to buy 4 of them because I don't want to go off measurements. You know what I mean? I want to have the tub. And I can't say I know many people that would go to that length. You know what I mean?
Well, I think him and Brahms both, they have these just stockpiles of different tub models because when someone says, hey, I want to use this size tub, they're like, I can either make it to that spec or I already have something made for that spec, But, yeah. I mean, I was just impressed that it didn't take, that Sean put all that together rather quickly. It wasn't like, okay, I can work on something, but it'll be like a year before I'll have anything for you. It was like, no, dude, 2 months, I got you.
Yep, and that's what it was. He told me, he's like, give me a couple weeks to map it out, and then give me a couple weeks to actually put it together and trouble test it. And I'll be honest, if we didn't have COVID, it would have been done a month ago. I'm confident in that. And I mean COVID because obviously he was working twice as much as he normally does in his main job. And it's hard to ship stuff, And thank you, Dom. That's very flattering. Now, I love this. He bought like 4 or 5 different locks and had his child test them, which I thought was brilliant. Because if anyone's going to break a lock, it's going to be a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not durable looking. They're not durable feeling. But he said that he got over 100 locks and 100 unlocks with his daughter, I think it was, and it worked. So I was like, fuck yeah, rock and roll. And I just got this guy.
Talk about R&D.
R&D, right? Exactly. So I just got this guy on Wednesday. This is a male purple maculatus. That this thing was olive drab, and I was like, man, he's all right. It's a green viper. It's green. You know, how many guys have green snakes? And then he shed, and I was like, look at this is
peach face. Yeah,
like it's a cell phone picture, so humor me. But the peach on the face, he's got this burgundy and red on the tail, you know, and then all this green with the purple saddles and like the white stitching. Like he just looks great. Look at these purple saddles in the back. Like, I mean, forgive the cell phone photo, but he just looks good.
Very nice.
Looks damn good. So I'm pleased with him. I gotta set him up. Set him up in the rack. He's in a tub now. So,
yeah, I mean, I like the Cambros, man. I don't like paying for the Cambro price.
You know what the problem is that my tubs were only like $15 a piece plus shipping, but the next size up is $40, and it's like, dude, that's nuts. But I understand why. It's because it's food grade. It's meant for
They're built to last.
Restaurants, right? It's built to last. It's built to not get cloudy. It's not microbial. You're not going to have. It's not porous at all. You know, because you're going to put all kinds of food in there. It's got to get sanitized. It has to be durable enough to withstand restaurant-style sanitizing cleaners and stuff. You know, triple bowl sink type of stuff. So I get it, and they're gorgeous, and I paid the price, and I love it because I'm a bougie little girl. So tell me what Brom said, because I hit him up this morning with some stuff.
He sent pictures of like the CAD. Let me see. Because I told him how you had talked to me about it, and I said, you know, hit him up because if he doesn't have it already, he can make it. But
right. So he
said he designed some. He said he has a new Cambro rack. I'll have to screenshot that and send it. But he said he's going to test. He's sending you some test ones before he puts them on the site. But they look pretty legit. I want to know if I can do something similar with those stairlights in my arboreal rack, because eventually those ladder perches that are in there now, they will outgrow.
Right.
And something like this, that would be nice. Something that doesn't sit as high up closer to the top, you know?
Right. Well, I know that those perps, they're going to sit on that thing and they're going to be happy, but like they got no headroom, you know, because they don't sit like a chondro. They kind of like festoon themselves across
like Amazons.
Like Amazons, exactly.
Yeah.
And an Amazon, like, you know, they want to put their head up.
Mm-hmm.
They want to stretch out. Well, the Vipers, they kind of do the same thing. I mean, nowhere near extreme because they don't have that long neck, but I didn't want to get the normal Brahms stuff just because it was so high, but I really, really love what he's doing, and the stuff that you sent me is tip top. So I drew him this. I don't know if you want to share it. I drew this on a piece of paper. This is kind of what I was going for. Obviously, this is
and he does something similar. It's just they sit level with where that line is.
Right. And I love it. I love the pattern that he made where it's like, you know, matching triangles. You know, I love that. But if we could just put that down a little bit, and then I drew this just for reference, like that is awesome. That's what he has. But if we can get it to come down off the water line, so to speak, and just be down a little bit, because I figure I'll have substrate up to about here. I'll have a water dish, maybe even touching it, you know, there. Put some vines or crap in there, and I don't know. It was a good idea. And then he sent me, to me, it was a good idea. he sent me some stuff, and I haven't even looked at it yet because he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna set it up, and you'll be able to buy it later on." And I'm like, "Awesome! I'll just do it tonight." And I got home, and now we're doing this, so I'll probably want to do it tomorrow. But it's all coming together, baby. All coming together.
Yeah. Someone messaging me about chondro things.
Oh yeah, yeah. You selling some tree snakes?
No, there's a girl up in Charleston who was going to buy a neonate from me before all the COVID stuff happened.
And then she went with that one snake that wound up being.
She got that. Yeah, she got that awesome Cyclops. And
dude, show it on here.
I don't. Let me see. I don't think I can.
Oh, that's right. You have an Android. They're not synced up.
That's right. But she was asking me. There's another chondro she wants. But I mean, that thing is just.
Oh yeah.
Unfreaking believable, man.
Awesome.
I was like, I'm glad you got that rather than mine, honestly.
Yeah. Especially if she pairs that thing up with something.
Huh?
Especially if she pairs that thing up with something.
Yeah, well, she's been talking to Harlan, and he's like, pair it with a Biak, which is pretty much what I would do. I mean, you put Biak with anything, and it's just blast off.
Blast off. Yep. I saw you. Do you have another lockup?
Yeah, they were locked up this morning. It looked like it was pretty solid looking.
Nice, good. Yo, Dan, what it do, baby?
Which, I mean, if anybody wants some Alterna, oh, Dom knows. Sean, we were just talking about you, buddy. About how awesome you are.
We were. Hopefully you heard it. How amazing how much in love I am with my rack. Love it.
Just how impressed we are with everything you're doing.
Tip of the hat to you, sir.
Oh, well. You'll have to go back and check it out.
Yeah, have to go back. Yeah, it was recent.
We were talking about how awesome you are overall.
Both as a wonderful human being and an enclosure designer.
Nice, Evan.
Oh, and I got my brand new Venom Life shirt in the mail.
Oh, look at that,
baby! It also came with some hooks, which we will talk about shortly.
Representing that heterometrus.
Represent.
I have a bunch of Alterna for sale right now. If anybody wants some Alterna, my dad is selling like half his collection, and I'm pretty much selling them for him. So hit me up. I think it's nice. Yeah, I got so my imitator Veradero. There's a tadpole. There's probably another tadpole somewhere in that tank, but I know there's one for sure. My Vanzolini have another tadpole in one of the canisters. I just sold one of the Vanzolini and shipped it recently. Of course, the Vitatis are. Yeah, I do. I've got 2 Frogwoods right now. Those will be probably ready to go within the next month or so, with more on the way. Those things take, I mean, man, freaking Reina Tomea take a long time to get out of water. They really take their sweet time. But they're awesome frogs. Really pretty, very interesting. Polka dot, how can you not like it? Phil has disappeared into the Twilight Zone. Nice, Dan.
All right, what'd I miss?
Nothing. Dan said he went 0 for 7 on the Stimson's Python baby feedings, which
Damn.
I feel like with those, I would just go ahead and start pushing tails. I'm not even gonna waste time trying to offer him pinkies. Just start throwing tails in them.
Dan, did you send them with anything or no? I feel like my first thing would just be to send them with something. I mean, I've never done it, so I don't know. But
They're just so damn small when they come out, man.
So damn small.
Like, unless you're giving them pinky parts.
That's worked for me on a lot of baby stuff, man.
Squams.
Eyelashes and squams and
Possible rainbows and the red balloons.
Death adders. All about the pinky parts with the Death Adder babies.
Ha! Dom, you just let me know. Random Tomato, where it's at, man. Like I've come to really like that whole genus overall. They're pretty. They're interesting. They take up so much less space. Like I want to sell my Leucomelis tank, just the whole thing, frogs and all. Well, Katie, we want it out of the bed. Katie wants it out of the bedroom, and
yeah.
We have a friend that's been wanting some frogs, but she doesn't like the whole setting up the tank and stuff. She's like kind of on the fence about. So I may just offer her that tank, and so we're trying to get debt paid off. We're really trying to crack down. So
adulting.
That's why when we were talking about a certain snake,
we can talk about it. It's cool.
That's fine by me. I just was like, you'll have to hold on to it until I don't know when.
It's fine.
I didn't want you to be like, yeah, hold it, and then be like, oh, I'll pay you next week. Oh, I'll pay you next week. Oh, I'll pay you next week. I'll pay you next week.
No, I mean, if you told me you're like, hey, man, I'll get you the money by the end of June, and June comes around and you're like, hey, I don't have it, then I'd be a little perturbed. But you're telling me up front, we have no idea when. I'll hang on to it, man. You're my friend. That's what we do. He's happy. He's chilling. So I won't lie. I was bullshitting with Billy the other day, and I was like, yeah, I think Justin wants the scrubby. And Billy was like, really? And I said, yeah, that's kind of what I thought too when he said it. I was kind of like, really?
Well, it's because it's the smaller variety that I'm willing to. I want to give it a shot. And hey, like if Jake ends up finding a female and ends up snatching it up, I will gladly use that male, and we can split whatever. I'd rather have it, and then if we end up coming across something, we're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
But Jake's gonna be pissed.
Sorry.
Did you tell him that I was going back and forth on one?
Who, Jake?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I think I'll be honest. I don't even know if it came up. To be honest. I mean, you saw.
I'll mess with him too. I'll be like, dude, check this out. I just got this in.
Yeah. Right.
We can still mess with him.
Well, what's funny is I realized, like, I was talking to Billy about it. Both of us were kind of like, really? He wants that? Like, that's left field. And then we were talking about it. I was like, you know what? No, he's smart. It's already an adult. It's already eating. It's already established. It doesn't mind human interaction. It's friendly out of the cage. So why? It's the perfect.
Oh, I think it's because I've been pretty vocal in the past, via the podcasts or being on other podcasts and talking about me and Jake doing our thing and how I'm pretty much like Jake can do with the scrubs. I like them. I don't want to keep them. But, I'm letting that be Jake's thing. But then this one pops up and I'm like, I want it. And I think it's just because I want to try it out. I mean, I could end up not enjoying it, which I doubt. But
right.
Either way, if it may end up in Jake's hands at some point. Who knows? But
to be really honest, I treat it exactly how you treat your cyanea, like to the T. The only difference is I feed him like every other week, and I give him a slightly smaller than he should have food item, and I have been feeding alive, but I also fed him dead, so he'll take right off the tweezers. Yeah,
I mean the only obstacle is really going to be I need to get a bigger cage from Sean because I want to do it right. Like, so my dad's getting rid of a lot of these Alterna. He's going to have like 2 empty racks. I'm getting those empty racks, so I'm going to get rid of those metal racks that I have in here. I'm going to talk to Sean about a bigger cage for that Nauta, and then talk about some sort of stands or something for those Python portal setups I've been talking about. Because you know how I talk about how like not space efficient these metal racks are.
They are. They're not.
You know, so if I can condense a lot of that down, I can have the space for a bigger cage like that, and then eventually get another PVC cage for that male Brettles because of that Neodisha. That eats up a lot of space. You know, just I need to talk to Sean. I haven't brought it up to him yet, but I'm sure he's listening. So
yeah,
Sean, text me.
Yeah, man. I haven't played with him in a while. I got to take him out and make sure he's like good because like all I see, dude, no shit. I see his head coming like. I'm gonna use
a chin.
I'm gonna use the camera as like that's all I see. I see his face like that, and then I'll see the tip of his tail, like this,
just waiting,
like just like dangling the tip of his tail. That's all I see.
So you know, as soon as you open up those doors, boy, it's game on.
And did I send you the picture? Did we talk about him sleeping underwater?
Yeah,
dude. He hasn't done it again. Just that one time. Friggin' scrub python sleeping underwater. Like legit sleeping. I've never seen that before in my life. Like nose and all. Like it was just the top of his head cutting through the meniscus. But
yeah, I'm hoping I'll get some eggs from these chondros, and I got some that are pretty much already going to be spoken for because I got people that I need to send some to. Like Billy got one from me a couple months ago, actually, maybe even a little longer. Might have been the beginning of the year or last year. I can't remember, but it just randomly died on him. Like he texted me the other day. He's like, dude, it just like I literally opened the tub and it's dead. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. The thing was doing salt. Like I just fed it recently, like never refused food, just dead. And so I told him, I was like, got you for another one.
Yeah, but I mean, we've talked about this a million times. We'll say it again. Like, that's why mom has 15 of them. You know what I mean, or 10 of them. You know, it's because like you don't know what's inside there. You don't know if there's a heart murmur. You don't know if it was born with small kidneys. Like you don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. But David Hochstadt, he got one we traded. He lost his. I still have mine from him. So I told him, I was like, I got you. Like I said, when it's like when it's homies and stuff, you know, if that thing lives 2 years and rolls, you know, it's like, I'll send you another one, you know.
Yeah.
Especially Billy. You know, it's Billy. It's like it's my guy, dude.
Of course.
So
of course. Absolutely.
But I think Luke and David sent me updated pictures of the ones they have from me, and they're looking pretty good. They're starting to change a little bit.
Cool.
So
cool. Good. Yeah, man, I gotta hit David up, dude. I like him. I talked to him like a month ago, and I wound up hitting up Socrates about some cage stuff, and neither one of us have really talked to him. I guess he saw him recently, but I gotta call him.
Yeah, he's been Dan, if someone did bring tandem bars, it was probably Foley and David Means.
Well, all I know is
they're the only guys producing them.
There were 3 different Instagram accounts that I follow forgive me, I don't know the breeders' names. I don't remember the Instagram accounts, but I follow them. They're in the United States, and all 3 of them produced baby tandem bars. And I reached out to 2 of them, and they both told me the same thing. We're not selling any of these. We're holding back all of them. And I was like, Okay.
Dude, they're pretty much in like the same spot that rough scales were in not that long ago, where like they're on the verge of being produced more often, but they still need another handful of people sort of getting their hands on them and raising them up. But they're getting close.
Yeah. And dude, like the talking to Lawrence about regional phenotype stuff, dude, there's just even of just the Nauta, there's like 6 different natural phenotypes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's nuts, man. Like xanthic and axanthic, and then like there's like a Western Island, like Western Barrier Island color morph. It's crazy, man. It's above my pay grade.
I need to get rhino rats again, dude. I'm still.
You do. A lot of blue ones on Instagram right now.
I keep seeing pictures of them, and I'm like, why?
So part of my Venom Life gear, part of my Venom Life gear order that I got with this lovely new Venom Life gear Scorpion T-shirt was I wound up getting another 30-inch or 32-inch Viper hook. Yeah, that is true. There is no consistency with that.
Bingo.
Yeah, bingo bango. So I got the Viper hook, which I'm going to probably use not tonight because I've been drinking. But I also got the drawer puller because as much as I personally feel like it is a total sales gimmick, I know I'm going to use the shit out of it. So
I was going to say, I think people say I'd use one all the time, dude. If I was keeping venomous in racks, I don't care what it is. I got that.
I was telling you and Brent, like, I have so many hooks. Like, so many. I need Venom Life gear to make me a caddy like a rack caddy for the back of my Subaru.
Just get a golf bag.
Well, I could, I actually looked at, those travel golf club carriers. They're like a hard shell.
Mm-hmm.
I almost looked at getting those for snake hooks when I was flying out to Arizona. And I actually wound up using a rifle case. I put them all in a rifle case and I checked them as checked luggage in a rifle case, a hard rifle case.
Yeah.
But I've got so many hooks and I use the hook to open the drawer. I always use a hook to open the drawer. Some of the CB70s, they get that, in them. And I have to use 2 hooks to like level it out. So I'm hoping that the drawer puller will facilitate that.
It's definitely sturdier. Like it's not as you get some of those hooks where you pull and it's kind of bend a little bit, and you're like, I don't really like that.
Well, I also thought of it like this: is I've got one tip as a point of contact, opposed to a wider distribution of surface area as a point of contact. So that in itself is going to be way better in terms of sliding it open. But I won't lie, I didn't read the description. Why would I read the description online? I didn't buy it. I thought it was going to be way wider. I thought it was going to be like almost 2 or 3 inches wide.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's not. It's a lot skinnier. Which is probably better for smaller tubs anyway,
Someone's got a really good-looking baby melanota for sale right now.
Yeah?
The list, man, of stuff.
It's not a picture of a hand in front of ficus bushes, is it? Because if it is, that's my friend that you don't like.
No.
Okay, because he just hatched out a bunch of baby melanota, and they look so good.
Meh. It's funny. You can tell when it's not chondro season because you go on King Snake and there's like maybe one ad for any that are for sale, and then when chondro like baby season rolls around like later this year, it's gonna freaking explode.
So Alec wants to know, talking about the Nauta, the feeding patterns, and Brandon was saying that he feeds his scrubs once a month, and I think that's great. That's probably fantastic. I guarantee you that's way more food than it would ever ingest in the wild. I'm doing a smaller than it should be prey item every other week, maybe every 10 days. It depends because like I don't have a feeding schedule. I kind of just like remember like, oh crap, I haven't fed him in 2 weeks. I gotta feed him. And I've been feeding him strictly rats. but I do live, and then every once in a while I'll give him a dead one just to like let him remember that he can eat something off tweezers. It's not going to hurt him, I mean, and that's really it. I mean, I really haven't varied the diet at all. It's been weaned rats and fuzzy rats for the most part. I think I've given him an ex-breeder mouse once or twice. I mean, that's it. I mean, nothing really. I only have the one, so like I'm not a scrub guy at all. I fell into this one, and I was like, man, this would be really cool. I'll keep him, and I've had him probably about a year now, maybe less. So. Good night, Dom.
Later, Dom. She's gonna go get her woo girl on.
Yeah, she is.
On a Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Going to the wine bar.
It's raining, and the humidity is 400%.
It's actually been really nice today. It's like a high of 80. It's actually been very cool. It's raining now.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm really. I don't know about you as far as feeding like some of the venomous and stuff, but I love really not feeding.
yeah. I mean,
I love not like Dom's just like she didn't leave yet. So
I do.
I try Cosmos.
Right. I try to keep my feedings consistent, but I'm also one of those ones of like they live in a box. As pretty as the box is, as much enrichment as I can give them, they live in a box. Their metabolism is shit. It's garbage. So even my species like the Dramarchon that have a stupid high metabolism, I don't feed them as much as I should.
I want some of those too, man.
They're not going anywhere. They're literally sitting there all day long. So
when are you gonna have some of those?
Oh God, don't get me started. I need Chris to send me a female. That's what I need. So, and then Marcus is getting some unicolors this summer from a friend. Well, I'm assuming he's getting like weanlings, talking about rats, probably like 3 or 4 month olds. So ladylike.
How it says that, and then it has her picture of her smiling.
But yeah, realistically, all of my Dramarchon could probably breed maybe 2021, maybe like end of 2021. But that's still, everything's about 5-6 years old. But because I don't power feed my stuff's still relatively small. So.
See, my take is with my bigger stuff. Obviously my younger chondros, they get fed regularly. Small Boyga, I'm not going to let those go without a meal for, at most 2 weeks.
Yeah. But again,
everything else, it's like but
you're slowing it down.
Yeah. Like if I can't remember when I fed you last, it's time to feed you. Exactly.
And like, I hate to say it like that because it sounds like neglect, but it's not. You know what I mean?
That's the thing that like my dad does. He feeds all his stuff. Like, doesn't matter what size it is. If it's an adult, if it's small, like weekly to every other week.
Yeah.
And he's got some snakes that are just sausages. And I keep telling him, I'm like, stop feeding this thing literally indefinitely until he's like breeding some females and he's like, oh, I need to put more weight on this one. And I'm like, this is exactly where it needs to be. I told him that multiple times. I was like, this thing's fine. Like you're going to have more issues with obesity in breeding than you are going to have a snake that's, maybe on the thinner side than it probably should be. Like,
you're right. Dude, look what Alec put. He puts still catching up, and my pair are lucky to eat every 8 weeks, and they're doing great. Wow, that's awesome. He says he has not diversified the diet, but planning on hoping to mix chicks and quail into it soon. I have quail at home that I use for the Dramarchon, but I didn't want to give it quail because I didn't want it to like love the quail and then not want to eat a rat. But 8 weeks, that's crazy. I love it. It works.
That's my male Brettles, the bigger guy. I would be surprised if he got 12 meals a year.
Yeah. Well, so you know me and Taipans, bro. I fucking love them. And one of the things I was reading an excerpt from, now I can't remember the guy's name. He was one of the first guys to do Taipan monovalent antivenom in the 50s, and he was saying that they cut back to one adult mouse a month because a coastal taipan in the wild was lucky if it got 8 to 10 mice a year. It was blessed. And I never forget that. That made me really think about the whole metabolism, and they're not cruising. They're not seeking out warmth. They're not hunting for their food. They're not evading predators. They're sitting there comfortable in my enclosure. So I got a rhino viper that I got as like a runty yearling, I'll call it. It's a Congo blue. I love me some blue snakes, and I power fed the shit out of it. I won't lie, because I wanted to like make sure it was good. But now that it's good, I'll do 3 feedings. So that's 2, 4, 6. So 3 meals over 6 weeks. But then I won't feed it until it takes a crap. And dude, it goes 3-4 months without taking a crap. Because they're literally all feeding.
That's. I mean, with anything care wise, it doesn't. It's not so black and white as if you have a snake, feed it every 14 days. If it's an adult, if it's a baby, feed it weekly. I'm not gonna feed any younger boiga the same way I'm gonna feed baby chondros of the same age.
Right. Or dude, baby Crebos, 3 small meals a week. Baby Gila monsters, 3 small meals a week. I'm sure monitor people do the same thing.
I think you need to fit the feeding schedule with the metabolism.
Yeah, exactly. Alex says that he understands the quail may be an issue for most, but it's a scrub, and if they continue to eat, they'll take whatever we're given. That's true. That's true. I don't have enough experience with them to. I'm self-conscious. We'll just call it that. I'm self-conscious with my care, and I probably neglect it more than I should because I don't want to increase any stress. Because when I do interact with them, I'm not like, oh, come out. I'm like, guess what? You're coming out of the cage. You're coming out. Let's go. Come on. So I want to limit that amount of that peak of stress to as infrequent as possible. And I'm sure it's totally different for some of the bigger species or, Aussies or whatever. I'll tell you what, man, with my new perps, I figured out that of the 6 I've got, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, of the 6 that I have, 2 of them will snatch right off the tongs and take it. The other ones, I have to leave it alive and just walk away and go from there. So it's always a work in progress, It's what makes us good keepers.
And that whole feeding thing goes along with sort of the whole setup debate.
Sure.
You should have all your animals in enclosures with 10 feet of space on each side, and it's like that ain't gonna work for some species. You're doomed to fail with some of the the people that are saying chondros should be kept in vivaria with a fogger or a mister or something like that. I'm like, no. It's like these things do great when you ignore them.
I told you the only guy that I don't have a problem with his gigantic wall unit vivarium with the fogger and the tropical rainforest look is my boy Elliot in Queensland, because the dude lives in Queensland. It's a desert, he's arid as hell. So he's got to kick up the humidity. And also
foggers, man. Foggers just make my soul hurt.
Well, so here's the thing. So he travels for work. So he's not home for weeks at a time. So what happens is when he does come home, he fogs that cage out. And as far as I know, his chondros never had a shed problem ever. It never has gone off feed or had dehydration or anything. It's good.
I don't know. Like the issue for me with foggers is it's a constantly sort of damper environment, and dampness leads to bacteria growth, and bacteria
mold, fungus.
It's the catalyst for a lot of issues.
fungus on this.
But
Actually,
if someone keeps something in that kind of setup and the snake is doing fine, like whatever. I'm not into it, you know.
Yeah, well, what works for you and your climate, you know.
But then I post a picture of my setups, and people are like, "Why would you keep a snake like that?" I'm like, you ever kept green trees? Like, you ever kept any of the stuff that you're telling me how I should be keeping it? You ever kept Boyga?
Right. Dude, I'm sorry. Your
No.
Sangria love those Walmart ferns. They're the greatest thing ever for them, and they love it. And that's what works. But I was going to ask Alec on his scrubs does he have in the enclosure? How much? I'm talking to him like he's not listening. How much shelving is there in your enclosures, or is it more perch type stuff, like branches and vines and logs and stuff? Because I find that mine either is coiled up underneath the grapevine that I have in there, it's in the water bowl chilling, or it's in the shelving, and it lives in that shelf. Lives in it.
Yeah, that's why if I get a bigger setup for that scrub through Sean, it's gonna have that bigger elevated hide.
Yeah.
Because I know, man, I'm gonna use the hell out of that.
How's the Regis doing? Done?
The what?
It's black.
Oh, it's good. I haven't had one in a while.
It's good. It's good. Man, I gotta go back to the cigar bar. I haven't been there because of COVID. Gotta go back. Gotta be that old guy at the bar. I was gonna show you this too. How did I get? I thought this was water on my mouse board. It's not. It's a wing from a fly. I was going to show this because, excuse me, it was looking so damn good I had to do it. But look at this little bitch. She's turning into a grade A pain in the ass. But she looks good.
Why? What is she doing?
She's mean. She's that 2% of rebels or whatever. What's the percentage?
It was 5, but I think 2% is probably a little more accurate because it's really not that many of them. I think it'll outgrow it though. I don't know. I think as they get older, they definitely tend to sort of mellow out some. But when they're that age, I had like my female. She kind of went through a phase where she was a little more edgy than usual, and I think it was almost entirely like a food thing.
Yeah, and I think that this is obviously feeding response, cage response, whatever you want to call it. But when I go to get her out, like if I go to get any of my carpets out, they're like, "Oh, you're feeding me?" And then I go to take them out, they're like, "Oh, I'm not eating." Okay. With her, she grabs onto that branch and she will not let go. And I have to take the whole stick out, and I sit in front of the TV with her on a stick, and she's just cocked back staring at me. And eventually she'll start to move, and I'll get her off the branch. But it takes at least 20, 30 minutes. That's why like I don't take her out that much anymore, just because she's just a pain in my ass. It's like Jake Scrub. But I thought it was
a handful, man.
His scrub?
Jake, I haven't seen it in a while, but even when it was small, it was still like, I think, what was it? One day what were we doing? I had stuck shed on it. And so I told Jake, I was like, oh, I'll get it off. And like without having a tube or anything like that, I had to grab it behind the head. And I have this like method of like using the hook and letting them go the other direction and slowly working my hands up towards the head. And then eventually like you get it to that point in the neck where they back out and then you just grab them like that.
Yeah.
And I somehow managed to pull that off without that thing getting me. But
oh, that's lucky. That's good. Yeah, man, you got to give him the treadmill,
Yeah.
Got to give him the treadmill.
And Jake was like amazed. He's like, how did you do that? I was like, talking about it. They're distracted. Like they're not, you're.
Yeah. They think they're going somewhere and they're not.
Right. Because that's I did that with the boy. Anytime I had to assist feed tails, it's like do the treadmill on the edge of the tub because like their head is on like that lip, and so they're like trying to pull their body. You keep letting them sort of aim towards that, like you get them close enough to where they think they can reach it, but they can't.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's. I've gotten really good at it from having to do all those tails and stuff.
What does Riley and Burke call that? Student of the serpent. Student of the snake. Yep. These youngins, they don't know what it's like. It's funny.
I do like that scrub that Jake has. It's just, dude, when that thing's like you open that tub and it's like, let's go, bitch. Like that thing's ready. That thing has no fear. It's really strange kind of have a snake like that that's like ready. Not just defensive, not like Amazon where it's like if it moves, I'm gonna strike. This is like a straight up like I have a circle. And if you come into that circle, I'm gonna get you. Like just it's I don't know, it's hard to explain. They are I think I agree with him that I do think they are a smarter variety. Like more aware, sort of what's going on.
Sure.
I don't know if you've seen that with yours at all, but
with my scrub, he's definitely intelligent. He's not that intelligent because I mean, let's face it. I manipulate him with food and like I'll like take the dead rat and like I'll move it around and he like keys in on it. He's not. I mean, I've got snakes. I've got a cobra that will stare you down. It knows where the lock is. It knows how the glass opens. It knows who people are. If Henry walks in the room, it kind of just sits there, hooded up, and doesn't do anything. If I walk in the room, it lunges for my face and tries to bite me in the face through the glass. And I will put the rat in there. I will literally just be like, real quick, put the rat in there. It will bite the rat. It's a dead rat. Throw the rat across the cage and then try and bite me in the face. Just because it just hates me. They know.
Like, I don't want that. I want you.
Yeah.
I gotta have you with your dick's name on it.
He still eats the rat. Don't get me wrong. But okay, so Alec got back to me on the shelf thing. He says there's a single shelf on the cool side under two logs that span the cage and a lot of cork. He says my scrubs move back and forth from the shelf. Also acts as a human hide. Below it to basking area under the panel. That actually, he says, does that make sense? It does make sense. That's actually great. That reminds me of when I had like baby Dramark on and doing two different hide caves with the water dish in the middle. And then basically, if they want to sit on top, they can sit on top. If they want to go in one cave, if they want to go in the other cave because of the temperature, and just like giving them options. I love giving them options. Which is funny because with some of the more high-speed stuff, I will not give them options because I want them to go where I want them to go.
Right.
So, for example, like with any of the high-speed stuff, when I'm putting it back, I'll make sure that any kind of obstructions or whatever you want to call them, water dish, cave, log, whatever, any obstructions are not touching the walls or the exteriors of the enclosure. Because the goal is to get the animal to go to one side, hug that side, go around the obstacle, and by then I've already closed the enclosure.
Right.
So it's interesting. I don't know, man. It comes down to experience, whether you learned it yourself or someone taught you the experience. You know what I mean? And just each species is different, I like it though. I like it. I like you have the shelf and the cork and everything. I like that. It's good. It's better than what I have.
Yeah, I need to look up what size cages that Lawrence is using for his scrubs. I know they're big. I just can't remember. But
how many animals does he have in here?
I don't even remember, man. I know he's got a lot. His setup's really nice. I don't know that I'd go that far with it, but definitely something, like I said, something that's got more than enough space.
Yeah, but you only keep Somalia, right?
No, he's got some Gonyosoma, and I think
Okay.
he's got some Boiga as well. He's got some mangroves.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't
Very
know.
cool.
Well, I mean, that may have changed. He may not have that stuff anymore, but
Yeah, who knows? I'm glad to hear that Nipper's Carolina's paired up. That was cool. Those snakes
yeah.
are big pygmies, man.
How many do you think? Like, what's the average litter size on those?
So I've seen them where they came out super small and they had like 7 or 8, and I've seen ones where it was like 3 or 4 babies that were diesel
Huge.
with like 1 or 2, like I won't call them slugs, but for lack of a better synonym, slugs. I almost feel like those 2 or 3 babies got like all the goods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually it's usually the small litter. I would prefer to have 3 or 4 diesel ass babies than 9 runs. You know?
They're probably a lot easier to get started, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely. Just thirsty for life. You know. But dude, I'm really I know I'm harping on it about these Israeli vipers, but I'm really like on it. I really want it. I want to do it. Set up some cool ass enclosures.
Do you know, is the venom composition on those different from like the Siamensis?
It's very, very similar. It's not as, from what I gather, it's not as procoagulant as Siamensis and Russellii, but it's basically the same snake. They don't get as long as some of like the Indian Russells, but they're still a big, heavy-bodied viper. I'm pretty sure they're the biggest viper in the region. And like I was talking with like you and Nipper in the group chat and stuff, like it's interesting because the patterning is almost identical. They don't have as many crescent moons and stuff or as many ellipticals as like the Pakistanis do, but the coloration is different, but the patterning is almost identical. And it's interesting because the more like looking at Israel or like that whole Near Eastern region as a long area, right? The more to the Mediterranean side, it goes from from the Negev up around Jerusalem and then back up into the Golan. And like it's weird because you'll get like these lighter, sandier colored ones the more closer to the Jordan River you get, and then the more Mediterranean you get, the more darker, earthier tones. Which I mean, in our world, we're not going to get them. We get what we get. But it is interesting to like go on iNaturalist and like look at the different localities and like see the different shades of them. I found this picture, which
I've done that with Bairds actually. You go on iNaturalist, look at Bairds, you can see sort of the different varieties. Pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I saved this picture. This picture actually came from Flickr, and I feel bad that I don't know the person whose picture it is to give them credit. But this picture is awesome because I did not expect this at all. But there you have a Deboya eating a scolopendra.
Oh yeah, I saw that somewhere recently.
And I
don't know if it was you or somebody else.
I think I sent it to the cream chat. I can't tell if that's a really big centipede or that's a really little viper. You know what I mean? But you look at that one, and that one is almost damn near identical to an Indonesian Russell's in terms of the gray with the slate saddles, And it's just I've never seen one like that. I'm wondering if that's some kind of baby color or what. That's awesome. And then there's that one that Nipper sent us, which I don't know if I have it, but that one that Nipper sent us is like textbook specimen. Like that's what I want.
Oh yeah, he had that in the article because he had that Herping Israel, the 2-part thing in the magazine.
Yeah.
And that was one of the pictures in it.
Yeah.
I actually think I might
I
still have
only
that.
read the first half, and I feel bad about it. Don't tell him I said that.
Huh?
I said I feel bad. I only read the first article. I didn't read I only read the first half. I said, don't tell him I said that. He's probably watching this. Probably laying in bed watching this.
Let's see. Was it like the close up of the head?
Yeah, it's like the darker of the two. I'm actually getting it right now.
I got it right here.
You got it? Yeah, that one. That thing's awesome. Now, I like it darker with more light variation to the sides of the face.
Yeah.
But that one is that's an awesome looking animal, man. And I mean, people make fun of me all the time because I love brown snakes. But dude, that thing is just stellar. You know what I mean?
It reminds me of an Naruto.
It is very Naruto-ish.
Naruto-esque. I don't think he had any like full body shots, but I noticed like the nose, the nasal scales and stuff aren't nearly as pronounced as like the Russellii and the Siamensis either.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
God, those things it's a devastating bite, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm trying to find that one Flickr pic that has like the best picture ever. Why can I not spell tonight? Jesus. So
My child is crying. I don't know why.
uh-oh.
I'm probably having her hair brushed.
That'll happen.
She doesn't use conditioner, so when Katie brushes her hair, it hurts, and she starts screaming bloody murder. Even though we tell her, like, use conditioner.
Yeah. So, like, here, I'm going to share this if I can. My eyes are going cross-eyed because I'm looking at so many friggin' snakes. So here, look at that.
You're getting old.
Yeah, I know, right? That is really, that's what I want. Almost superciliaris, the bands in the face with the light, sunset underneath. It's got those white lips with the dark eyes. Like, that just looks awesome. And, like, going back to the whole, nostril scale thing, their face is, I don't want to say it's more pushed in, but you can see where it wants to have those scales.
Right. Yeah.
And then there's this one.
It's weird. Like, they're almost like a cross between like the Daboya and like the Macrovipera. Like, they're almost like a weird sort of intermediate between the two.
Yeah. And I like how they still have that Russell's nose. It's just not as large and like obnoxious.
Yeah.
But then like you look at that brow line, it has like that Atrox brow line.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at this and it has that white that borders each saddle. Like, it's just awesome, man. I want them. I want them really bad. Like, look at this animal. The thing's just awesome.
Raw power. I don't know, man. I think I like the Siamensis and the Russellii more, I think.
You know what it is like I had my Siamensis and that thing was the coolest, man. That snake, like, we always make a joke, it's like it's the living tea kettle. That snake was so high pitched, bro. And like, people don't understand it because they just, like, hearing it on YouTube does not give it justice. It doesn't. And it's not the whistle like an actual tea kettle. It's this deep, like woof, like this long wind of air. Like you forced out the tea kettle.
Just to give people some more like context with the whole nasal scale thing.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, freaking black pit. It's a Russellii.
Yeah.
Whichever one that is.
It's Indian locality though, or no?
I don't. It doesn't say. It just says South Asia, or whatever that means. But yeah, I mean that's like the obnoxious huge nostril, which I'm actually curious as to what purpose that serves.
Yeah.
What leg up does that give them? Here's another one.
Who knows?
It's a crappy resolution.
Yeah, that looks like a Pakistani.
That's definitely another one. It's like someone blew a freaking hole in their face, dude.
Yeah.
Like someone shot them in the dome.
So before anyone gets any ideas, I already started writing the article on Daboya, so for the magazine. So nobody nobody steal my Kool-Aid, all right? I don't know if I'll have it ready this month, but I'm gonna put it. Yeah. However,
I really hope the disclaimer that we have in there is enough, because I don't want some moron being like, "Well, the magazine said I should go buy this." Phil Wilson, reason to keep.
No. I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be one of those. It's gonna be like on the 4 different species.
I got you.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it Nipper-esque. I'm gonna try. No one will ever match that Atheris article he did, but I'm gonna try and do something similar. You know, I won't have it nearly as long and in depth. I'm gonna keep a little mystery to it. You know, let people do a little Googling on their own.
Well, that one was the way it was because there was really no other way to really do it.
Right.
Without cramming all the information in like one little block and splitting it like half a page. You know, like he really did go all out. But there is a very similar article he sent in that'll probably be in the next issue about Vipera barris.
Right.
It's very similar to that Atheris article.
Awesome. I can't wait, dude. Bro, do you remember in our group chat when I was like, tell me you've seen Vipera barris with the melanistic? He's like, oh, we have them 2 hours away from the house. I have so many pictures. And I was like, you son of a bitch. But like, all right, so I just went and just typed in Daboya samensis, and dude, I did not look this cool. Hang on a second. Where is it? Let me screen share this. Mine did not look like this. I feel like I got gypped. That thing is awesome looking.
Yeah, there's one that came up on my search earlier that was like ash white.
And like, this is actually what mine looked like. That is literally the spitting image of mine. It had really small concentric circles. Some of the saddles were almost diamondy, and then it did have some of the pink on the face. So this is literally what mine looked. Actually, I might have a picture of mine.
An Asian version of a pygmy rattler or a Mississauga.
Yeah, except it's 4.5 foot. Now I got to go find that picture of mine. Actually, I remember there was a really good picture, or at the time, it was a really good picture because cell phone cameras were like the thing, you know? And everyone gave me shit. It's like, dude, this picture came out so good, but there's a big turd in the photo. I'm like, thanks. Where is the...
Hen Dog said Siamensis are super cool.
Yeah, that's just because he loves everything that's Indo-Chinese.
Alec, I have not, but I'm going to look it up right now.
What are we looking at? What Alex say? What is it? Extenticus? I haven't heard of that one either.
I love the blue ones.
Oh yeah.
I want to know when Kyle's gonna have that stuff sent to me, man. I'm super excited about the stuff he's got cooking.
Oh yeah, dude! If he writes that Georgia article,
right,
bro,
people are gonna open it up, and be like, "Oh, Georgia, herper in the southeast." It's like, no, the other Georgia,
the other Georgia. Not to say
the
that
other Georgia that no one's probably written about herping.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember there was. there was an article in, I don't know if it was Reptile Mag or Herps Mag, but it was on Herping Azerbaijan. And everyone was like, I didn't know that was a country. You know? It was all like lowland, but cold weather reptiles. It was awesome. Wow, I just looked at the caption of this from 2009. Look at that. It says, I put Dabuya russelli limitus, which that is not correct anymore, so forgive me on my nomenclature. But that was my Russells, and you can see this lovely turd right there in the photo. But yeah, you see how it had some of the nice face markings, but that thing was my boy. He was my special friend.
It was Da Boy.
Da boy.
Yeah.
So stupid. I have a picture of me tailing it somewhere, and people gave me shit because they're like, not because I was tailing it, but because they're like, dude, anybody who tails a snake behind the vent is a wuss. And I'm like, well, this is a fucking Russell Piper, so yeah.
That doesn't even make sense.
I know. But I remember that caption. Where the hell is that photo? Oh, I know where it is. I know where it is. Photos of me. And I'm pretty sure this was like 2009 or 2010. So I probably had no beard. I probably have a shaved head.
You're a baby face Phil.
Yeah.
Just like me right now, because I don't know how to trim my beard.
What did Henry send me?
Hen dog, you wily little
Hen dog
guy.
Text me who owns that animal, because if it's who I think it is, I'm gonna be very sadly disappointed. Send me a picture of Indo Russells. It's a good looking animal. Where is this damn photo?
I got this ironwood ring from Katie for her anniversary, and it's starting to get sort of blemished and like worn, and I like it.
Oh, that's creepy.
It's gonna look like a pioneer man's ring.
Oh, you like that it's getting worn?
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, good.
It's getting all nicked and scratched, and by the time I'm 80, it'll look even cooler.
Nice. I don't know, man. I'm actually afraid if I ever get a girl that's, kind enough to let me marry her, I don't think I can do a ring, man. Like, I just don't like rings. Like, they drive me crazy.
This one's been an adjustment. Like, I wear it on my right hand. If I put it on my left, which I do sometimes, it's not the same. It feels weird. It's not as comfortable. But I'm right-handed to begin with, so maybe that's.
Yeah. Is it really a big thing about the whole left hand, right hand thing?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Like, is it like uncouth to have it on your right hand?
I think so. Oh, McGregor's Piper.
Who's got McGregor's?
Your employer.
Oh yeah.
$99.99. Where do I send the PayPal?
If that thing was like $400, I probably would have bought it. I found it. It's old, and I found it. Oh my god, it's from 2009. And look, on this one, I put Siamensis. What the hell was I doing back then?
Look at that young blood.
Look at those
fucking young
Phil.
Oh, man. I'm pretty sure Justin has those same pants.
What the hell was I thinking with those pants?
Don't try this at home.
Show him that stupid picture of you with the tarantula, like.
No.
I'm gonna see.
We saw that when we went on my MySpace page, like the second episode.
There's so many pictures.
What is the child screaming about? Were you brushing her hair?
Yes.
No. See, Phil, I told you.
What? Oh, brushing
She was
her hair?
brushing her hair. He was like, Ellie's screaming bloody murder. She must be getting her hair brushed.
No one's getting murdered.
You know, we're like,
Whose snake that is?
this is
What were you
a big old rock, right?
Right?
That was painted as a coral. And so Nathaniel was talking about how much he loves microurus and how much he collects like coral snake stuff. And this has just been sitting in my garage. It's from like 2001. I'm gonna box it up and send it to him. Probably as like a little surprise
I
gift.
love it. I love it.
It's heavy as shit though. I'd have to use one of those flat rate boxes.
Wow, bro. So Henry did not tell me whose snake that is, which is annoying me. But he did send me a siamensis from Komodo Island, and we're sharing that because that looks fucking cool. That looks real cool. Screen share.
So Sean said he remembers that pic. Sean's been Facebook stalking me, dude.
Wait, what?
Oh, it's almost like xanthic.
Yeah. Look at that tail.
Make it scaleless.
Dude, look how like the saddles like bleed together. Like that's just a great looking animal, man. And just,
I like the head shape.
yeah. And just to think that one drop will literally turn all of your blood into a jello jiggler.
Jello.
The jellos, the jiggles of the jellos.
He said MySpace stalking. He wasn't Facebook stalking. He was MySpace stalking.
Oh, he's MySpace stalking you. Because nobody knows my MySpace.
It was probably something like Hot Fanatic 666. MySpace.com/VenomMan666.
It was funny, man. I remember I got MySpace because I couldn't have a Facebook because I wasn't in a real college. I was only in community college, and you couldn't be on Facebook unless you were in a real college or what they considered a real college. Excuse me. I'm not meant to be insulting to people that went to community college because I went to community college.
A real college. Meaning you paid
I did.
an exorbitant amount of money just to have their logo on your degree.
Yeah, I don't even know where it is. I think it's at my parents' house on a mantle somewhere. I didn't walk the stage. Fuck that.
Man, you ever buy anything from Fascination?
No, but I almost have.
God,
Like
their stuff
10
is they always have the coolest stuff.
But is it really cool or does it just look really, really good?
No, some of it's like legitimately like stuff you don't see every day. Like he's got some Protobothrops elegans, which I know aren't anything super rare, but it's just neat to see
Yeah, that's cool.
different stuff.
What else has he got going on there?
He's also got really nice squams usually.
Yeah. He bred Colettes this year, which I thought was really nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he bred Colettes. They looked really, really good. There's a girl.
Has a Hagen
Got a bunch of them, man. They're gorgeous. They're all shedding. They're all eating. They're all shedding. They look so good.
I just didn't realize they had that blue on them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they look real good. In fact, those pictures are before they shed. So
They remind me of Bothriechis.
Yeah, they're very Bothriechis-ish in the color and like Habu-y in the body type.
Mm-hmm.
They're super long. Like people don't understand how long they are. But I told Henry, I was like, listen, man, I personally feel like in the U.S. captive market, Hagens are cursed. And if they weren't cursed, I would own them because they're beautiful. But I know more people that have been bit by Hageni than any other species in the U.S.
Yeah, I remember you saying something about that a while back.
Yeah, because they're stunning animals. I mean, screen share it, bro. They look gorgeous.
The pictures are too small. Let me see if I can find it.
Top of the morning to you, Jake.
Hey, Jake sent me a 1,000-piece puzzle that has been an absolute nightmare.
Man. I have been meaning. I gotta send Jake a knobtail hat. I gotta send Elliot a knobtail hat, and I gotta send Jake Meany a knobtail hat. But I keep fucking forgetting because every time I bring the stuff to work to ship internationally, I get sidetracked, and these hats are still sitting at work.
Those Tim Tams are delicious, though.
So I'm told.
What's up with this? So someone's selling some venomous on Fauna. His profile picture is him free-handling a Kuthia, which is nice. And then he's got this picture of this red spitter for sale, and it's in like the smallest cage possible.
Are we gonna show it? Or are we gonna call this guy out or no?
No, I mean, hey, it's already on the internet, so
yeah, exactly.
Not like it's not public knowledge.
Who's this guy?
I don't. Joel Adorno.
Don't know him.
Nice blurry squam pick.
Kawazai. Yay. Wow, that's actually a really good looking red spitter.
It is.
But like,
looks
why
like
the
it's in a cage that's about half the size it needs to be.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Jake, I'll get you a chat. I just gotta get my ass together and do it. So. What are you looking at?
These Alamo Hueco Clubberai. Pretty nice.
Oh yeah, super nice. Lots of white. I like that. But those are still babies, man. I wonder how much darker they're going to get, you know? How much more of that modeling is going to come in. Dude, I wish Fauna didn't suck, man. I really do. Like, I wish they fucking joined the 21st century. You know what I mean?
This dude was selling friggin' Nishii for $170. Oh, this is from 2016. I hate that.
Yeah, that's annoying.
People are like, oh, are these still available? It's like, bro, this is from like 5 years ago.
And yes, Jake, spitters are an allergy because I'm convinced that I am now allergic. And that sucks. It's annoying.
This is that Melanota from Michael Miller. Look at that little guy.
Oh. Wow. Looks great.
Let's see what's happening in the Dark Frog realm. Nothing. Blue Galactinotus. You can get a pair of these for the low price of $875.
Wow. Yeah, but they look fucking awesome, though.
Yeah, they do.
I just got bad news.
Uh-oh.
No Vipers.
On the
Palestinians. Yeah.
Palestinians? Oh.
Palestinians.
Ask him what the hell happened.
He thought he had them, but he doesn't. He had them. He had a couple pairs of them and sold them, and he thought he had like one left, and he doesn't. All right, back to the drawing board. That's all right. I'll save my shekels. Well, I am going to be that guy tonight, and I'm going to end it slightly early because I have to wake up early because I am going on a goose hunt in the morning.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, come early.
Yeah, right. It's going to be good. So I'm excited. I got to be up at like 4 in the morning, but
Hell no.
it's going to be good. And they're going to be delicious. Delicious.
I don't think I've ever had goose.
You know the best part about my goose hunt is? They're Egyptian geese, invasive species, no bag limit.
Hen Dog says only one person has Palestina in the U.S. And it ain't you, Phil.
That is not true, Hen Dog, because there are several people that I know personally that have onesie twosies, and then I know there's a couple people that brought them in like 4 or 5 years ago, and that group of animals has been kind of floating around. So I want them. I want them bad. But thank you all for watching, and sorry I'm cutting early, but I'm going to be that guy. Obviously, Justin can go on if he wants, because he has control.
I am also going because it's bedtime. I'm tired.
Well, this concludes
Just
another wonderful episode of Snakes and Stogies.
The 30th.
The 30th. Good night, y'all.
Deuces.
Bye, Justin.
Bye.